so, so, hello guys. So, welcome to Logic Part 1. So, yung Part 1 natin, we will talk about the definition of logic and also some parts of categorical statements. So, okay. So, what is logic? Logic is um, came from the word logos, which means wait, wait, wait. Nawala ko siya. Anyways, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so, sorry, Tosh. So, logic came from the word logos, which is sometimes translated to a state, sentence, discourse, reason, rule, and ratio. It is the study of principles of correct reasoning. So, logic is important because it gives justice to humanity, kasi it gives justice to humanity, na tayo lang yung nakakapag-isip. So, logic is both a science and an art, since art uses language to argue, and science because it follows a process in which madidetermine natin kung valid or invalid ba yung isang argument. So sometimes it's not focused on the truth, it's only focused on how valid a statement is. It only focuses on correct reasoning rather than the truth. So may ibang statements na hindi totoo, pero valid pa rin yung argument since it follows a certain structure. So, kung may tao kayo nakikita dyan, nasa SM doon po kasi kami. Anyways, so, let's go to arguments. Sorry. So, let's go to arguments. So, arguments constitute logic. So, arguments is a composition intended to persuade. It appeals to other person's reasoning capacity. So, it consists of a set of claims. So, in syllogism, which is, yung syllogism, yun yung type of argument na pinofocus natin for this lesson on logic. It has three statements. So, merong P1, which is the premise 1, P2, which is the premise 2, and conclusion. So, lagi may dalawang premises at hindi pwedeng isa lang kasi kung isa lang, fallacious siya kasi walang supporting premise. So, in arguments, it must have a connection and a conclusion is optional. Optional ang conclusion kasi minsan may mga arguments na walang conclusion. And even a bad argument is still an argument. It only focuses on how valid a statement is and not how bad an argument is. Not how bad an argument is. So, as long as it is valid, it is an argument still. So, an argument, so yung sa argument, meron tayong premises. So, yung premises natin is a set of claims to support other claims. So, arguments, so yung premises natin pala, it is evidence that warrants a certain conclusion and yung mga premises, dapat it must lead to a certain conclusion. So, yung premises natin, it has three terms, mainly the major term, the minor term, and the middle term. Yung major term natin is, it appears in the predicate position, yung sa predicate, kung malalaman, maaalala nyo, yung isang sentence, meron siyang subject and predicate. So, yung predicate, yun yung major term. Yung minor term, yun naman yung subject na mismong sentence. And yung middle term, it appears in both premises. So, mamaya tayo mag-focus dyan. So, yun yung parts of a premise. So, okay. So, yung conclusion kasi, yung premises, it leads to a conclusion. And the conclusion is only there because it collates data. And hindi siya necessary na mag-establish truth. It only collates the data na ginawa ng premises. So, punta tayo sa deductive and inductive reasoning. So, in deductive reasoning, it's general to specific. General to specific kasi nga, it achieves absolute security in an inference, which focuses on the truth. So, it starts with factual evidence that is unquestionable. Okay. So, So, may tumingin kasing kuya eh. Anyways. So, it starts with a general statement to a specific statement. So, kunwari sinabi ko na I study in STC. Tapos yung specific ko, I am a Teresian. Therefore, um, therefore, all Teresians study in STC. Parang gano'n. So, ulitin natin. So, general kasi, from a general statement, lilipat siya sa specific statement. So, kunwari, Socrates is a philosopher. Philosophers are smart. Therefore, Socrates is smart. So, parang general to specific, wait, naglo-loading ako eh. Alam mo, take up mo to. Kasi naglo-loading talaga ako eh. Ito, no. So, kunwari, may ads to eh. So, kunwari, yung general statement, philosophers are smart. Socrates is a philosopher. Therefore, Socrates is a philosopher. So, from a general statement, philosophers are smart, lilipat to a specific statement which means Socrates is a philosopher. Yung conclusion natin, Socrates is smart. Parang gano'n. Alright, Socrates is a philosopher. Parang gano'n. So, general to specific siya. Inductive naman kasi, specific to general. So, you base your judgment, you base your conclusion on a certain statement, on certain statements na na-experience mo. Kunwari, na-experience mo na nakakita ka ng philosopher na may balbas. Okay? Nakakita ka ng philosopher na may balbas. So, yung first statement ko is, mga philosophers pala may balbas. Kunwari, nakita mo si Socrates may balbas. Sabi natin, oh, si Socrates pala may balbas. So, philosopher siya. So, kunwari yung first statement ko is Socrates has a beard. So, specific siya. So, philosopher. Tapos, sa second statement mo, Socrates is a philosopher. Kasi nga, from experience, philosopher siya. So, sa conclusion mo, magiging all philosophers have beards. Kasi nga, Socrates is a philosopher and he has a beard. Therefore, all philosophers, na meron silang balbas. So, it's from a specific statement to a general statement. To a general statement, hindi siya masyadong reliable kasi unquestionable kasi yung first statement ko because all your premises come from specific experiences that you have experienced. So, okay na tayo sa deductive. Listen. So, what about deductive validity? Deductive validity is a connection between the conclusion and the premises that follow the argument form. It is not, it's important to determine whether or not an argument is valid. So, meron tayong deductive validity. So, it has the analysis of facts that will hold up logically in order to help construct the validity of an argument. So, kunwari, sasabihin natin, all humans are mortals, Linda is a human, therefore Linda is a mortal, meron siyang established connection, therefore meron siyang deductive validity. So, sa argument form natin, deductive validity is based on the argument form. Sa argument form, meron tong premises that support the conclusion. So, ang common argument form is P is to Q, A is to Q, therefore A is to Q. So, ano ba sinasabi kong mga symbols dito? There are only symbols that constitute, that represent a certain statement. Kunwari, our statement is, all humans are mortals, all Americans are humans, therefore, all Americans are mortals. So, okay. So, lipat tayo dun sa major, i-ano natin sa major, minor, and middle term. I-base natin sa major, minor, and middle term yung pinagsasabi kong symbols. So, focus tayo sa unang statement. All humans are mortals. Let's take mortals as Q. So, yun yung symbolism natin, Q. And let's take humans as P. Di pa tayo sa second statement. All Americans are humans. Yung Americans, bagong term na siya. So, let's classify it into another symbol called A. And yung humans natin, since nakita na natin siya sa premise 1, yun na yung isa pang P statement. So, yung argument form natin ngayon is P is to Q and A is to Q. So, yung therefore natin, yung conclusion natin, all Americans are mortals, since yung Americans nasa second statement and we represented it as A na din yung representation niya sa conclusion, and yung sa mortals natin, since we represented it as Q na rin yung representation natin dun sa conclusion niya. So, yung argument form natin is P is to Q, A is to Q, therefore, A is to P, therefore, A is to Q. So, medyo nakakalito siya. Tandaan na lang natin na parehas palagi yung middle term ay parehas palagi yung symbol. Kapag parehas yung symbol, yun yung middle term. So, kunwari, yung humans natin, yun yung P. So, P is the middle term. Kasi humans is repeated in the second statement. And yung Q natin na nakalagay dun sa first statement is the predicate, is the major term. And the Americans na nakalagay dun sa second statement and nasa subject is the minor term. So, yung argument form natin, in order for it to be valid, kailangan it must follow the P is to Q, A is to P, therefore A is to Q form ng argument. So, in categorical, so yun yung valid form sa mga arguments. Kung hindi yun yung valid form, kung hindi yun yung form na nakita dun sa argument, hindi yun yung, hindi siya magiging valid. Kasi magiging mali yung buong argument. So, dun pala makikita natin kung tama or mali yung isang argument form pala. So, in arguments, in statements, there is such a thing called the categorical statement. So, this is the type of statement that begins with a quantity indicator, which is all, some, or no. And meron siyang copula or yung verb sa gitna. So, yun yung quality indicator. It is either positive or negative. So, yung R, pwede siyang R or R not. So, kunwari, our statement is all Americans are human. Yung all dun, yun yung quantity indicator. Yun yung R dun, yun yung quality indicator. And the quality indicator is positive. Kasi R, hindi siya R not. Magiging negative lang siya kung meron siyang R not. Kasi meron siyang negation. So, ayun nga. So, yung subject term natin is before the verb, before the copula, yung R. So, sa all Americans are human, yung Americans dun, yun yung subject term. Kasi siya yung before the R. And yung humans dun is the predicate term, which is pagkatapos ng verb, yung after the R. So, sa categorical statement kasi, merong mga syllogism. It constitutes a certain syllogism, which is the categorical syllogism. Pero later na tayo dun sa second part. So, let's focus on the square of opposition muna. The square of opposition is used, ito yun, case. Ayan siya. The square of opposition is used in order to determine the mood of certain statements. Ano yung mood? Kung true ba siya or false siya. Ganun lang. So, sa categorical statement kasi, ginagamitan ng square of opposition kapag gusto mong hanapin yung truth value ng iba't ibang statements. So, merong A, E, I, O statements. So, yung A statement is the universal positive. All subjects are predicates. So, all subjects blank, all blank are blank. Parang ganun. Ganun siya. Sa E statement, yun naman yung kabaliktaran ng A statement, which is the universal negative. So, no blank or blank. Yun siya. Kasi ninegate niya yung all dun sa isang statement. So, sa ano naman, sa I statement naman, it is the particular positive, which is some blank or blank. Yun lang siya. And sa O statement naman, some blank are not blank. Ganun siya. So, yung representation ng um, in determining the truth value of between certain statements, doon na pumapasok yung mga nakikita nating contradiction, contrary, subcontrary, and sub-alternation. Okay, so between A and E statements, it is a contrary. Bakit? So, let's take the base statement, all students are philosophers. So, yun yung base statement natin. All students are philosophers. So, okay. So, all students are philosophers. Gawin natin siyang E statement. No students are philosophers. So, between A and so, kunwari lalagay natin siya sa truth table. Yung first statement is the A statement. All students are philosophers. And yung second statement is the E statement. No students are philosophers. Now, sa contrary statements, it cannot be both true. Hindi siya pwedeng maging both true. Bakit? Kasi, kung true yung all students are philosophers, hindi pwede maging true yung no students are philosophers. Kasi nga, yung all na yun, sorry. Yung all na yun, it constitutes a universal group. Kung true yung all students are philosophers, hindi pwede maging true yung no students are philosophers. Since nakapaloob na since nandun na yung all. All na kasi. All students are philosophers na. Hindi siya pwede maging no students are philosophers. Sorry. Hindi ako galit, okay? Nasabi ko lang. Anyways, ito lang yun. Kung true yung isa, false yung isa. So kung true yung all students are philosophers, malamang false na yung no students are philosophers. Kung true naman yung no students are philosophers, malamang false na rin yung all students are philosophers. Kung false yung all, pero pwede silang maging false parehas. Okay? Ganun lang siya. Kasi it is possible na all students are not philosophers and no students, basta it is possible na maging false silang dalawa. Yun lang na siya. Sa some contrary statements, it is the I and O statement. Baliktad naman siya. Bawal silang maging both false. Ito siya. So, yung base, kunwari, some students are philosophers, yung I statement, and some students are not philosophers. So, pwede siya maging true parehas. Kasi it is not universal. And some students, pwedeng maging some students are philosophers, while some students are not philosophers. Pwede sila maging true at the same time. Okay? So, pwede din sila maging false. Pwede yung isa maging false, yung some students are philosophers. Pwede maging true naman yung some students are not philosophers. Kasi it is possible that it is true that some students are not philosophers. Well, okay, wait. Nagugulan din ako. Nagugulan yung teacher niyo. I'm sorry. Okay, it is possible that one of them is true and one of them is false. Or both of them are true. Kasi nga, it is only particular to a certain group. It is only particular to a certain group. Kaya pwede silang maging true at the same time. Kasi hindi sila universal eh. Pwede sila maging true at the same time. Bakit ba hindi pwede maging false at the same time? It would be wrong kapag false yung some students are philosophers. At the same time, wrong na false yung some students are not philosophers. Paano natin, Kasi paano siya magiging possible na both sila false at the same time? What? Basta ganon. It cannot be both false. Kasi nga, Kung false yung isa, dapat true yung isa. And kung magiging both false siya, it will not be valid. It will not be valid. So sa contradiction naman, this is sa A and O statements and sa E and I statements. So, kunwari, sa A and O statement, all students are philosophers and some students are not philosophers. So, kung true yung all students are philosophers, definitely false yung some students are not philosophers. Since nakapaloob na yung some dun sa all. Okay? It is generalized, meaning that some is included. So, paano kung some students are not philosophers? Kung true yun. Therefore, yung magiging false naman yung all students are philosophers. Kasi some students are not philosophers. And yung all students are philosophers, may invalidate siya. Kasi nga, some students nga lang are not philosophers. Okay? So, parang kung E and I statement, no students are philosophers and some students are philosophers. So, kung true na no students are philosophers, false na yung some students are philosophers. Kasi nga, walang student na philosopher eh. Paano magkakaroon ng some people na philosophers lang? So, yung no students are philosophers. No, none is generalized, meaning that some people are included. Kapag true naman yung some students are philosophers, may invalidate yung no students are philosophers kasi nga, mayroong some na philosophers na. So why would you say that no students are philosophers? Okay, pause na yun. So, last na to, in sub-alternation, sa A and I, ito naman yung relationship ng A and I statements and the E and O statements. So, medyo mahaba kasi yung truth table na to. So, pasadahan na natin. So, sa all students, kunwari, true yung all students are philosophers. Pwedeng maging true na some students are philosophers kasi na-generalize na some students are philosophers. Therefore, all students can be philosophers. Diba? So, kasi nga, it is generalized na sa all. So, nakapaloob na yung some dun sa all. So, paano kung false yung all students are philosophers? Nagiging undetermined naman yung truth value ng some students are philosophers. Kasi, since false yung all students are philosophers, nagiging undetermined na yung some students are philosophers. Kasi ano nangyari dun sa some na nakapaloob dun sa all? Ano nangyari sa kanya? It's neither true nor false. So, it's undetermined. Kapag true naman, yung some students are philosophers, it is undetermined. The truth value of all students are philosophers now is undetermined. Yung truth value ng A statement is undetermined. Since some students are philosophers lang, true na yun, maging undetermined na yung all students are philosophers. Kasi ano nangyari dun sa ibang students? Philosophers pa ba sila? Or students lang talaga? So, it's undetermined. It's neither true nor false. So, kapag false naman yung all students are philosophers, automatic, wala na talagang student na philosophers. So, false na rin yung some students are philosophers. Puro ang philosophers dito. Anyways, ganun din yung truth table. Basta, truth table. Ganun din yung truth table sa E and O statements. So, kung true yung no students are philosophers, automatic na some students are not philosophers are also true. And kung false yung basta parehas na lang sila ng truth table dun sa una. Okay? Basta parehas na sila ng truth table dun sa una. Sa in-explain ko sa una. Kasi parehas naman silang universal. Okay. So, if any questions sa part 1, okay, PM nyo na lang ako, i-curious cut nyo na lang ako, Zur NDPT, tapos, okay. I-message na lang ako sa messenger, tapos, puntahan nyo ako sa 202. Part 1 lang yan. Anyways, di pa tayo part 2, mamaya.